Welcome to the Rosny College Electronics series of videos. Today I'll be looking at how to breadboard simple circuits and how breadboards are constructed. There are many types of breadboards. So we have simple small ones like this, ones like this that have rails along the top and the bottom, a similar one that has again rails along the top and the bottom. Both of these have IC, or all of these have IC trenches. And then there's the wish style breadboard, which is very similar, except the orientation of the trenches is different. Today I'll be showing how to breadboard using this one. That's the style that we use here at Rosny College. But I'll use this one here to show you how they're constructed. So if I just peel back that, you can see that in the back here there are metal strips, and each of those strips lines up with these 5 holes. So anything that's connected into one of these 5 holes will be connected to anything else that's in that row. So this wire here I've just placed, as you can see, I'll zoom in. You can see I've placed the wire in there. If I connect this other wire here into one of these holes, it doesn't matter which one of these ones, any one of those, then all of those will be connected together. So these 2 wires are currently connected together. So if I need to join 2 components together, say I have an LED, there's an LED, I'll zoom out a bit. I have an LED, I can place the LED like so. That's better. So you can see I've got the LED with its 2 pins in different rows. And that's important because if they were in the same row, then those 2 pins would be connected and the current would not go through the component. So connecting a component like that is incorrect. It has to be between different rows. So it could be like that, or I can go across the trench if I like. Okay. So if I want to connect a resistor with this LED, all I need to do is I've bent the legs before I try and place it into the breadboard. Makes it easier. I'll place it in like so. Okay, so you can see there that the LED, its 2 pins are in different rows because they're separated by the trench, and the resistor, its 2 pins are in different rows, yeah, obviously, but they are both share a common row there. That allows this pin of the LED to be connected to this pin of the resistor, or this leg of the resistor. So now I'm going to show how we build a circuit from a diagram. Go back to a sensible resolution. So if I have a circuit that looks like this, so I've got my battery and a resistor and an LED. Some numbers on there, 9 volts, 470 ohms. So there's my circuit diagram. First thing I should probably do is I'd get all the components I'm going to need. So I'm going to need an LED, a 470 ohm resistor, which if I look it up, the colour code tells me that it's yellow, violet, brown. I'm just going to write that there. Yellow, violet, brown. I'm not too worried about the tolerance at the moment. Most of our resistors are the 5% gold band tolerance. And I'm going to need a battery. So there's my 9-volt battery. And we're going to use a battery clip here to connect that to my breadboard. Now red is the positive. That's positive. Red. Negative. Black. So you can read that. So I'm going to take my breadboard now, and firstly, I like to use the rails here along the top. Now, unlike these middle rows, which are connected this way vertically, as we're looking at it now, these top rows are connected horizontally, and they're all connected from here right through to the halfway mark on this style of breadboard where there's a W. Right, so this hole is connected to this hole underneath with a long metal clip, and there's a break, and then this hole is connected to the one on the other end. This row here is separate from this row, so the two rows are separate, so I can use the top row and the second top row if I like, or I can use, and this is what I'll be doing, I'm going to use the top row and the bottom row. If you notice on my diagram, I've got the positive at the top. I'm going to have the same representation on my breadboard. It makes it easy to troubleshoot. I have the top being positive and the bottom being my negative. So I'm just going to connect those in now. So pretty straightforward. Pop them in the holes. So you can see there, it's a bit hard to see that that's the red one and that's the black one. Okay, so now I need to go, I'm going to follow my circuit from positive all the way through to negative. So we have to have a complete circuit, so it's easy to follow just one bit at a time. So the first component I'm coming across is my 470 ohm resistor. So that's this one here, and all I'm going to do is connect the top row and down onto my breadboard somewhere. So zoom in on that, see it a bit better, increase the res. So you can see the resistor legs are in the top row and just somewhere on the breadboard. I'm going to do something very similar with the LED. I'm going to connect the LED to this row, and then I'm going to go across the trench and put it into here. However, the LED, if you have a look, the symbol for the LED isn't symmetrical. It looks different if I turn it around. So if I were to, that means it's a polarized component. Right? Unlike the resistor, so that resistor symbol there, I can turn it around and it would look the same. Unlike this one. So I need to look at, okay, I've got a positive and a negative side, or an anode and a cathode. Okay, the anode is the positive, and the cathode is the negative. Okay, and the anode corresponds with the long pin on our resistor. So if you have a look on the resistor there, notice how there is an extra long pin, this top one. Okay, if for some reason that the legs have been clipped, you can also see when you look on the body of the resistor, I'll see if I can get it so you can see it. A bit hard to see, but there is a flat side on the cathode. So it has the flat side, the cathode, and long pin for the anode. Okay, so I need to have the long pin connected to my resistor. Okay. So if I pop that in now, you can see that the resistor is in the same row as my LED. And if I tilt it over across the trench so that these two pins aren't connected, I've got my cathode of my LED. Okay. Now to complete if I go back to my diagram, we need to complete the circuit. So to complete my circuit, I'm going to need to connect something, or connect this cathode with something, maybe a bit of wire, to the negative of my battery. I'm going to get another bit of breadboard wire and connect it straight across, like so. And you can see the LED is lit up, so our circuit's working. Next video we'll look at a more complicated circuit using integrated circuits.